everyone. Welcome back to BND, the Banker Next Door. I'm your host, Dr. Joe Berquist. This week's topic, we're going to be talking about technology and technology, how it affects banks. There, to say that technology is having a profound impact on every bank right now would probably be an understatement. So, what types of technology are banks most concerned with today, and what's going on? What are some of the things that are rapidly changing? This podcast is going to be more of a high level. We're gonna get down into a lower level on each of these topics in future podcasts as we kind of move forward. But today I wanted to talk about some of the key things. So every bank has what's called a core system, and they have a core system provider. I would say majority of the community banks in the U.S., which is a little over 4,000 community banks, 4,500 or so, 4,700 community banks in the United States, use primarily three companies: either Jack Henry, Fiserv, or a company called FIS. Those are the three kind of big main core providers that have the majority of the market share in the market. So every bank has to have a core system that they operate off of. And what does that core system do? Well, the core system tracks all the accounts that a bank opens, all of your deposit accounts, all of your loans. It'll track a lot of the things that a bank has to monitor in terms of payments, maturity dates for different loans, maturity dates for CDs, anything that has a date of expiration down the road. There's a lot of things that banks have to collect from customers every year, all different types of financial documents. In a case if you have residential mortgages, banks have escrow systems that they have to manage those escrow accounts and have to track the payment of tax bills, insurance bills every year. So things of that nature. So banks have their core system. Banks also have what are called vendors, and there's a lot of different names for this. I mean, you could have technology partners, you could have technology service providers or TSPs, a bunch of different names for the different types of vendors that can supply banks. Now, what are some of the different types of vendors that might be out there? Well, you've got companies like Verifin that help banks with what's called AML or BSA management, which is some of the back office regulations and things that banks are tasked with tracking different things with their bank customers for the regulators, for the government. There's a company out there called Q2 that does a lot of different things, helps banks with their mobile apps, with their websites, different back office functions and things like that. You also have there's companies out there like Abrigo, which basically help banks. Like if you want to run an automated loan system, if you want to, sometimes they have systems that provide for financial analysis, what's called like the spreading of financial statements. And then you also have a lot of cybersecurity risk out there right now. So a lot of different things happening on the back end with cybersecurity. There's a lot of vendors that banks go to protect, their networks, protect different things that are going on. And then finally, you're looking at payment systems. What are the different payment systems out there? You've got the FedNow, which just launched just a few days ago. That is really supposed to help banks with their payment systems in terms of the speed of processing, getting payments through in a faster, more streamlined, more timely fashion, more cost effective. And then you have a lot of different technologies in terms of also in payments, like you have Venmo, you have the Zelle network, which has come out, a lot of different companies that are pushing things through. And so there's a lot, and then you can get into the whole AI and what AI is bringing to a lot of different customers right now. I mean, I'll have whole future podcasts on AI and things like that. But just a couple things in the space that I wanted to share with everybody here today. So I'm going to click into this real quick, and we're going to share screen. Bear with me 1 second here. Okay, so here we go. So here's an interesting article that's up here today, basically called AI's Impact on Data Management and Customer Experience. This is from Bank Director, written by a gentleman named David Benskin. So basically, in this article, he talks about, what are the effects that artificial intelligence is going to have on a bank, from their ability for data efficiency, basically tailoring the customer experience, and what's going to happen and how that's going to happen. It also talks about how different AI models are going to be able to conduct predictive analysis using historical data to forecast future trends and outcomes. The AI can lead to more personalization capabilities and streamlined processes such as faster loan approvals, account openings, and funds transfer. Can allow banks to increase their customer satisfaction and meet better expectations. It can handle routing tasks, process automation, and data analysis, as well as additional activities entailing little manual intervention. So AI is definitely going to have a profound effect on the technology of banks and how we deliver products to our customers. But then I wanted to go back and I just wanted to take a look too. So here's a very interesting thing that I wanted to share with everybody. So this is an article called "The Latest in Tech Salaries," also from Bank Director, written by Christy Somerville. And this basically talks about how for IT business analysts, chief information officers, a CIO, help desk specialists, and system administrators were 4 of the 30 fastest growing salaries last year, with salaries increasing from 7 to 17%. The CIO is one of the highest paid positions in the IT industry, with an average salary of $178,000 per year. So what does this mean? Obviously, banks are competing with many other tech companies competing with many other tech companies out there right now for tech talent. That talent is not getting any cheaper. Banks need this talent. Banks need these people to play these roles in the back office, whether it's cybersecurity, whether it's working with the various different vendors, whether it's working with the core service provider that the bank has. Obviously, the people with the technical expertise to handle these different areas are vitally important for every bank out there. And this is only going to get more profound. I mean, I think AI is going to have an effect on all these things over time. One of the interesting things I'd like to talk about is, in a future podcast, is kind of the hype around AI. Has the hype really met kind of the frenzied, or the mania, if you will, around AI right now? I mean, I've played with ChatGPT, and it's really interesting. It's absolutely amazing how fast it works. And I think it would be really interesting to see how like ChatGPT, when plugged in with other systems, to coincide with it, not just a bank, maybe any other type of business that might use it as a means to augment how they're delivering the products to their customer. I mean, I would love to see some different examples of that, and research a little bit how different companies are using it. But a lot of great tech topics, a lot of great things to talk about. We're going to break all these different areas down in future episodes. And hopefully everybody got a little flavor for the different types of technology that affect banks right now. And again, we're gonna do a deeper dive into more of those as we go forward. But thanks to everyone for listening, and see you next time on BND.